No matter the amount of recognitions, awards, praises, or achievements of a man or woman in this world, there can never be the escape of the certainty called death. But the achievements, good or bad, would be told as historical knowledge, having far much more impact than that of when he or she was alive. What's up, people of this weird but interesting planet called Earth? Welcome to episode 33 of History's Most Influential Humans podcast with yours truly, Damilare Mapa. Today, I'll be taking you on an historical journey of a man whose discovery has probably directly or indirectly saved your life. His name is Alexander Fleming, also known as the father of antibiotics. Born in Davell, East Ayrshire, Scotland, on the 6th of August 1881, he was the third of four children of a farmer named Hugh Fleming, who passed away in 1888 when Alex was just 7 years old. Alec, as he is popularly known, began his education at London Moor School and then moved to Davell School. At age 11, he was awarded a scholarship to Kilmarnock Academy Secondary School because of his impressive academic prowess. He then enrolled in the Royal Polytechnic Institution and finished there when he was just 16 years old. Then he started working in a shipping office for about 4 years. In 1900, he joined two of his brothers in the Second Boer War in South Africa. In 1901, when he was 20 years old, he was fortunate to receive an inheritance of about £250 from his uncle, John Fleming, which he was said to have used to continue his education. He went to med school, choosing St. Mary's Hospital Medical School in Paddington, London, and graduated in 1906 with distinction. This was when he began his career in medical research. After his MBBS degree, he got a position to work under Sir Armroth Wright, one of the world's leading immunologists at the time, and got greatly influenced by the ideas of Wright on vaccine therapy. In 1908, he graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in bacteriology and became a lecturer in St. Mary. During World War I, he had to join the Royal Army Medical Corps as a captain, where he continued his research on bacteriology in a research lab in Bologna, France. This was where he witnessed the death of a lot of soldiers who had the littlest of injuries because there was no cure for a lot of harmful bacteria that infected the injuries. And the widely used antiseptic at the time even made most of the injuries worse. Alexander studied this problem and wrote an article on it, where he said that the chemicals such as carbolic acid, which were used as antiseptics, were only sometimes effective in wounds with smaller surface cuts and caused more devastation than cure on wounds with deeper cuts, as they also killed the body's immunity agents and made it easier for bacteria to thrive. He then added that the best option was to leave the wounds, keep them clean, let them dry, and allow them to heal themselves. But these suggestions were mostly ignored by doctors for the rest of the war. After Fleming returned home from World War I, he made an interesting discovery while researching on mucus from his own nose. Imagine. He wanted to know the effects mucus had on bacteria. So he mixed mucus and bacteria, left it for a few weeks. Then when he went back to investigate, he discovered that the mucus contained an antimicrobial agent, which was part of the human body's immune system responsible for killing bacterial colonies. Fleming isolated this enzyme and named it lysozyme. Further study made him discover that this component was found in other body secretions like tears, saliva, pus, and so on. This discovery would have been a really great one, but unfortunately, the enzyme was mostly effective on harmless bacteria and not really any dangerous ones that caused deadly diseases. But today, this enzyme is mostly used as a preservative of food and wine. After this discovery, Fleming realized the potentials of bacteriology research, putting him in the direction that made him discover something that revolutionized the effects of modern medicine forever. Fleming kept looking for a better alternative for harmful bacterial infections. This was when he started research on a bacteria called Staphylococci, which causes sore throat, boils, and other terrible effects. It's really a life mystery how the untidiness of one man revolutionized the progress of modern medicine with one mistake of an invention. August 1925, Fleming went on family vacation, leaving his laboratory as untidy and rough as he always does. And upon his return on September 3rd, 1928, he noticed one of his petri dish had been contaminated with mold spores, which had killed all the bacteria around it. He quickly isolated the mold and named it Penicillium notatum. Subsequent study of this mold showed that it killed a lot of other dangerous bacteria. After some months of calling his new discovery mold juice or the inhibitor, Fleming gave it the name Penicillin on 7th March 1929 for the antibacterial substance present in the mold. After his discovery, alongside different publications, he wasn't taken seriously at all for up to 10 years. And this was mostly because Fleming didn't know how to produce his new discovery, the penicillin, in mass quantity, enough for clinical trials and then commercial quantity. Thus, Fleming's initial discovery was just the beginning of the hard work and efforts, mostly done by other scientists, groups of teams at Oxford, and various drug companies to make the unstable mold-like structure a mass-produced drug that has saved the lives of most likely countless billions after its popular discovery. In 1945, Fleming, alongside two other scientists that had great impact in the perfecting of the penicillin antibiotic drug and mass production, Howard Florey and Ernst Chain, won a Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine for the discovery of penicillin, as the foundational rules allowed the maximum recognition of just 3 people for a Nobel Prize-worthy discovery. Fleming went on to win and get countless awards and recognitions, and I mean it when I say countless, for a discovery that most people would count as pure grace and good luck. Fleming himself was said to have said something similar. He said, "When I woke up just after dawn on September 28, 1928, I certainly didn't plan to revolutionize all medicine by discovering the world's first antibiotic or bacteria killer, but I suppose that was exactly what I did." Now that's an interesting phase in destiny. He spent all his years in the St. Mary's Hospital and later replaced his mentor, Sir Almont Wright, as the head of inoculation department, which was renamed the Wright-Fleming Institute. After Fleming's wife, Sarah, died in 1949, it left him really emotionally devastated, devoting and burying all his time to his work until he met Dr. Amalia Kautsuri Veraskas, I hope I got that right, who he later married in 1953. But this happiness was short-lived, as Alexander Fleming, a great man, died 2 years after the marriage on March 11, 1555, aged 73. Another interesting phase in destiny. Penicillin started as a chance observation. My only merit is that I did not neglect the observation. Alexander Fleming. So Fleming's advice to you is don't neglect any observation. That is actually a big secret for scientists. Well, that's it on today's episode of History's Most Influential Humans podcast, guys. I'll see you all first Saturday of July. Have an amazing June. And please don't forget to follow me on my social media handles at Damilare_Mappa. And please drop a nice feedback. I'd really appreciate it. Thus, I bid thee farewell. Damilare Mappa out.